I've been after one of these for nearly 20 years, and Sega Genesis and Mega Drive collectors think they know what this is, but they're wrong. Now, for the longest time, people have been telling me that this is a rental case that stored and housed Sega Mega Drives for companies that would rent these out. Think Blockbuster. But something didn't sit quite right with me, and that's this. This is the branded Sega trademark logo. And the only way you can get this is by getting your product officially licensed by Sega. That means paying Sega a license fee and a royalty on every single unit sold. And there's no way that a rental company could afford to do that with the tight margins they have. So I've sat down for the last few months in anticipation of picking up one of these and really researched what exactly this is. And after all that research, I've actually found out that this is the officially licensed system carry case from 𝗬𝗵𝗵. Now, like I said, I've been trying to pick up one for nearly 20 years, and they crop up all the time on eBay and different sellers' sites, but they're always selling for 150 to 200, which for me is well overpriced. But I managed to pick this one up on eBay for £50, which is exactly how much it cost back in the day. Now, it's a little bit grubby and dirty, but this thing is built like a tank, so there's no damage on it at all. So I'm going to spend the next few hours cleaning this up and recreating the original packaging that this came in. And while I do that, I'll tell you all about the history of the 𝗬𝗵𝗵 system carry case. The Sega system carry case was manufactured by 𝗬𝗵𝗵 Manufacturing Company in New Hampshire. The business was founded in 1970 and its CEO was 𝗦𝗂𝗂𝗍𝗂𝗍𝗂. The company made a number of products and would later merge with Curtis Manufacturing and register as a toy manufacturer. However, during the 90s, the company specialized in the manufacture and sale of plastic computer accessories and made storage and carry cases for Sega and Nintendo's 8-bit and 16-bit consoles. With Sega, 𝗬𝗵𝗵 managed to secure the coveted official licensing agreement for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive storage solutions. This allowed them to brand their products with the official Sega logo and its sub-brands for the Genesis and Mega Drive. A licensing deal with Sega would have involved an upfront payment, plus a royalty on every unit sold. Sega would also need to approve all product designs that carried their name. 𝗬𝗵𝗵 would end up creating a total of 4 officially licensed products for the Mega Drive. The system carry case was the first, then 2 softcover carriers, and the 4th would be the cartridge caddy. There were several plastic carrier cases around at the same time, which were used by rental companies, and this has led to some players confusing all carry cases to be X-Rental. Looking at some of the designs, they are very similar to the 𝗬𝗵𝗵 case, and it's quite possible that 𝗬𝗵𝗵 took this mold, simplified it, removed the logo and added a flat surface to place stickers and instructions, and then sold these to rental companies to improve their overall sales. Now, there's only one picture of the 𝗬𝗵𝗵 official Sega system carry case, and I'll be using this to recreate the packaging. However, the case in the pack shot art is slightly different, with a painted white Sega on the front of the case, and the interior is slightly different as well. The July 1992 issue of Megatech does show off the 𝗬𝗵𝗵 system carry case, and here we can see the same design you find today. I can only surmise that the initial pack shot photos were of the original concept, possibly the prototype they had sold into Sega, but that was changed during manufacturing to simplify the design or to reduce costs. Designing a replica cover for the 𝗬𝗵𝗵 Sega system carry case was made easier because of the Mega Drive and Sega Genesis black and grey grid. The grid is made up of 1 cm by 1 cm squares, which allowed me to carry out the design portion of this project with a decent degree of accuracy. I also used my original 𝗬𝗵𝗵 cartridge caddy box I have to help me where there were no reference images, on the back and on the top for example. Everything was remade from scratch. I found the original fonts used, I redrew the 𝗬𝗵𝗵 logo as a vector image, and set up a photo shoot to replicate the original cover art. It took several weeks to put the box art together, and trying to interpret the low-res image of the original didn't help. After all this, it was off to the printers. Putting the sleeve together was fairly simple. My printer had already cut the sleeve to size, and so the only cut I needed to make was for the handle. Then it was on to creating the creases so that I could fold the card. From my other projects, I found that compressing the card with a hard edge gives a more authentic fold than scoring the card with a blade. I also had the card treated with an anti-scratch layer to make sure it lasts. This involves wrapping the card with a thin plastic layer. The plastic layer can be quite brittle as you fold the card at a right angle, so I'm heating up the fold edge, which gives the plastic more give and allows it to bend. The benefit to this is that when the plastic cools, the fold is more rigid. Now all that was left after this was to glue the sleeve together, and I was done. So this is it, the nubby Sega System carry case. Now, while I was cleaning this box up and restoring it, I did notice one little thing about it. If you've got a European and US adapter, it will fit perfectly. But if you want to put in your UK power adapter, then you have to drill a hole or cut a little hole in there so that the plug will fit. Fortunately enough, Nubby thought about that and has left a little indent for you, marking out exactly where you need to make that hole. I'm not just collecting Sega Mega Drive stuff. It's not just about adding as much 90s plastic to my room as possible. For me, it's a real passion. The Mega Drive and Sega are what inspired me in my own gaming career. And I've bought something for my Sega Mega Drive every single year since it was released here in the UK. And this is something that I've been after for a very long time. And again, I don't think I had enough money to buy it back in the day, or I couldn't find it in the shop. And so being able to add it to my collection now just bring back a lot of those hopes and desires I had as a kid, where I really wanted to have the biggest Mega Drive collection I could possibly have. Now that's all we've got for in this show, but remember, if you enjoy your Sega Mega Drive and Genesis games, if you love seeing brand new games for old consoles, then this is the place you need to subscribe to. And it always helps if you leave that little thumbs up and a comment down below what you love about the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. That's it, and I'll catch you on the next one.